All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to a pre-market show. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday as well. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm great. Ready to kill it today. How are you doing?
Doing very, very good. I feel so much better today. It's like
Nice.
night and day. It's just crazy how you take for granted when you feel great all the time. Then you start feeling a little crappy, and you realize how good it feels to be 100%. So definitely feeling like that this morning. Had a good routine workout this morning as well. So all systems go over here. So hopefully you're having a great morning as well. And let's see what we got going on today. Pretty excited about this gappers list. Just looking at it really quick. I like the numbers I'm seeing here: 5.6, 5.3. We got
I
AMD.
I
What
know
about
what you're
you?
seeing. You're seeing BPTH.
You know what? I did not notice BPTH was on there. Holy cow. Hold on a second. Well, I have some really good experiences with BPTH. This was the day I traded it actually on here. I think it was this day. Let's not even talk about it. Jesus. If I would have held overnight. It is what it is. It is what it. I think I calculated a number. It would have been something like 25,000. Obviously after the
Oh,
fact. After the fact, I was telling my mom about this. She's like, "Oh my God, you should hold everything overnight." No, it doesn't work that way, Mom. The minute you do, that's the time that you pay for it dearly. So,
oh yeah.
BPTH is on here. Not much volume, but yeah, interesting gappers list today compared to what we have yesterday. And again, guys, just goes to show you the market is always going to give you uh, times where they have opportunities and other times where there's not. Yesterday was our watch list, and we'll go through it in a second. Was very, very not horrible, but I just couldn't find any good setups. Lyft was probably one of the only ones that had something really good going. That was at the open, but it was tough to trade yesterday. We traded live here yesterday, me and Brian, and he also had a tough time. Just things didn't give continuation. So you have some days when that happens, and it's our job to make sure we manage our risk and don't give much back when we have tough times. All right, cool. So let's see what we have yesterday here. Get into this. So John, what happened with you? No, John, I was just feeling a little bit under the weather over the weekend on Monday and yes, I was still not 100%. I was still feeling a little crappy. So that's all. Just had a little cold, nothing too major, but it does affect your body and the way you process things, especially with day trading. I had one trade yesterday, OSTK, and after that, I even had a hockey error on it. And it's just like, you know what, I'm just going to take it easy today. So that's all. So let's start with Lyft. So Lyft was a beautiful opening range breakup. I wish I would have traded this instead of OSTK yesterday. This was just perfect. Look at the 1 minute. Look at this beautiful entry here. On the 5 minute, got a perfect bull flag right here. Also ABCD pattern. Just perfect entry once it bounced off this moving average. On the 5, you also have a really clean entry as well. I mean, you cannot ask for more than that. Gives you a nice pullback. At first, it looked like it was going to run and just not look back. And this is probably why I didn't focus much on it, because once things get too extended, you got to be a little careful. And it pulled back right to the VWAP, and then it had this beautiful breakout above the high of the day, above the candle's close. And it just was real nice for opening range breakup. Then it started losing it. Really big drops and a lot of volume just over and over again. Every time you think it was consolidating, just big drops. So again, just really nice to trade here on both sides. We were able to catch a reversal or also an opening range breakup. Yes, Raven, that's correct. That is correct. So again, I probably look at the 15-minute for opening range engulfing here. Probably the 15-minute chart showing that. But you could have caught that as well. It just depends on your entry though, because that would have been tough to survive this pullback here. It's big of a pullback, so that would have been a tough trade to enter. All right, now CVS again, big drop. Got pretty extended here once it lost VWAP. And it's funny because Brian, right before the open, he did mention he was looking for the same setup, for it to sell up and then sell off. And that's exactly what it did. But it got really extended on the 5 minute and then just became really choppy. So again, just really hard to trade here. But then it took off. It bounced from these levels down here. We had this from our daily chart, 50-178. Bounced from here and it came up nicely. So that was a good reverse if you were able to catch this, but not an easy trade to take. WBA was very choppy, sold off, and then just became pure chop, just up and down, just wrapping itself around the VWAP here. It had a very long consolidation period here, just didn't know what it wanted to do. And I believe I stopped trading at 11:30. I was not looking for any more setups. But we did have some members in the chat room take this breakout here. So they took that breakout right there, and they were able to get at least 2 VWAP, couple of cents. And if you had a really good entry, you could have survived this pullback. But this is a big pullback. You know, it's tough to survive that because it kind of almost engulfs the previous candle. And that could be a signal for reversal sometimes, you know, heading back down to the VWAP. But this level, I mean, to the previous day close. Or the low of the day at that time. But this consolidation here, this level really held. I mean, this thing held all the way, and then you had another pop. Go ahead.
I considered taking that at one point, and I was just watching the price action. It was moving so slow, Carlos. I know Kurt took it at one point. I think he got stopped out on that little pullback, but you know, even still, when it had that little pop, it wasn't that far. WBA can be hard to trade. It's part of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, so it's it can be very boring.
Yeah, actually, I do remember I had just gotten off the mic. And you were on at that time, and you did mention that it moves too slow for you. I remember you saying that. So it's just tough to trade on WBA here. Next, AMD. AMD was a choppy open too. Again, nothing good here. Unless you took a 2-minute opening range breakout, which we do. We're starting to teach that in class 4, and we'll talk about the next schedule of the classes in a second. In our announcement, but here 2-minute opening range breakout would have done nice here. I know Andrews have been trading that strategy quite a bit, but if you waited for the 5 or even the 15, just look at this chop here. It's just nothing clean here at all. It does find a bottom and eventually starts squeezing up here, and I think some people took it in this area as well for this possible squeeze. I was concerned with just it being choppy, with the SPY also just kind of flat, wrapping around the previous day close. It just didn't seem like a good option. But again, some people took it here and it turned out pretty nice. Squeezed above VWAP towards the high of the day. And then you had a reversal down here as well. And then OSTK, this is the one I took. Unfortunately, didn't run. I got in right here for the opening range breakdown. For the 5-minute opening range breakdown, I jumped in. Was it here? No, I'm sorry. No, it was more... actually, it was a little later. It was right in here after the 5-minute, probably 15-minute breakout. It was here. It looked like it was going to lose it. It did drop a little bit, and by mistake, I added a quarter instead of taking off a quarter. I added a quarter, immediately took some off, and then it pulled back to my entry, and I just got out, stopped out at break even. So again, it turned out to, actually looking at it now, it turned out to be a beautiful drop here on the 5-minute. But if you look at the 1, it was, again, just not moving clean. Very tough to anticipate, what it was going to do here. But now looking at it now, it turned out to be a really good opening range breakdown, but you had to have a good entry. I think my entry was somewhere in here, so it was not right at the 5-minute. Then we have ADMA. We were watching that one as well. This one had a nice breakout here after consolidating and selling off through the entire day, the entire mid-morning, I'm sorry. And then it had a consolidation here, and it took off nicely to VWAP, so that was a nice trade. SGMO was one. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I traded SGMO. This is the one I traded. Yeah, this is the one I traded. My mistake. Sorry, guys. It was not OSTK, it's SGMO, because here it is. Here's where I got in and stopped out on. So SGMO was the one I traded. And then Riot just really didn't do much. It's very choppy. Again, not the best list, a very tough list to trade. I know, Norm, you traded Facebook yesterday. That turned out really nice.
Yeah, I had 3 trades. I had 2 on Facebook and 1 on Delta DAL, but the Delta really didn't go anywhere. It paused for a long time before it took off and ended up going in my direction. I made a tiny profit, but that Facebook opening range breakout was great, and I loved it because it had a little catalyst right there 4 minutes before the market opened, and you can see it pop, especially on the 1-minute. And it made this little ABCD. So I waited for a pullback. When it hit that moving average, I got it, and I got a lucky fill, I'll say. My arrow literally is hanging off the tip of the bottom of the first candle. Nice. And then I was able to get about $3 out of it. I actually scaled out a little bit, added, then I closed that out, and then I almost immediately reopened the position for the break of 172. So
excellent. That's a beautiful trade, man. Nice.
Oh, thank you. It was a good open for me.
Yeah. So with that said, check out Norm's recap. Also, who else had a recap yesterday? I believe it was William and Thor did a recap.
William and Thor, yeah.
Yeah. So check those recaps out. They're up on the YouTube channel, so you can see. Again, you had 3 amazing trades yesterday, so definitely take a look at that. All right. So that's what we have for top highlights and plays from yesterday. Let's get into what the market is doing. Let's see the market pulse here. Let's get into bring up the SPY. I know we're up this morning. yeah, let's look at the daily chart. So again, just bouncing nicely here. I thought we were not gonna gap up today again, but again, just another gap here. So we were leaving these ranges here in a very well, it seems to be a positive market right now. I mean, this is definitely a bullish market. I know there's some news with China possibly getting closer to this deal, so that could be helping also the markets push higher. So I expect some better moves than we had yesterday, because yesterday it just opened up really choppy, and you could tell, look, it just came down and it pretty much closed exactly where it opened, and that's kind of what it did all day. You had this drop here, but all day it just kind of hung out this area here, which is very close to the close of yesterday's date. So it's more of an indecision day in the markets yesterday on, you know, deciding what's going to happen next. And today we have a nice gap here. So
yeah, you know, Carlos, for a long time we were talking about how SPY was bumping up against that 2810 level, and it finally broke through. So that breakthrough is bringing a lot of people in. We're just a couple of percent away from the all-time high of like 293 something. Yeah. So it's trying to run for that. We'll probably get a little FOMO going into this of people that are scared of not making money as it breaks out.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we haven't been up here since when? Last year, October, right? So again, we had this huge drop here, as we all know, and now we're slowly, you know, breaking through these levels here. Almost every day it's like it's you know, we have some good pullback. These are healthy pullbacks here. Well, this one's a pretty aggressive one, but we were coming back nicely here, so that's good to see. Well, let's hope that creates some really good moves for us today. Let's get into our gappers and see what we have, and then we'll get into our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. We'll go in here and see what we can pull out of this area, and then we'll see what you guys are watching on your end. So let's start over with BPTH at number 1 here. BPTH already up 6%. How many shares traded? 118,000 shares traded. So not a lot of volume for BPTH. It is up quite a bit, but this is not the type of volume you want to see on this stock. And again, we know how this stock can move. It has been really choppy over the last couple of days. Again, still holding this 19-20 level area here, so it hasn't sold off from here. That could be a good sign that it wants to go higher. Usually these low flow stocks, you know, when they pop up like this, over the next couple of days, they start selling off nicely back into their normal price trading range. But this one's been holding here. So it could be an impossible play. But again, guys, this is a stock that's very, very risky. You really need to watch your size on this. If you even trade it at all, you know, if you even trade it at all. So we'll put it down here because it is in play today. Pre-market action right now is looking okay. It's looking decent. We got some volume here. We're losing it a bit in this area here. So we need to get more consistent volume here and build this up. Only has 118, so that's not a lot for this type of stock. Next, we have ADMA. ADMA is up 5.5, 148,000 shares. Not a lot right now. Pre-market action looks horrible. Had a big day yesterday, kind of sold off most of the entire day. Again, it gapped up and it just sold off nicely. And today's up a bit, 5.5. I'm not liking the pre-market action right now, guys. Just looks very choppy. You have 150,000 shares traded, but you got a big candle here with 50 of it. So not as clean. Let's look at what else we have. STM. STM is one of these stocks that doesn't move very clean. We've seen it a lot before. It's very choppy. Look at the daily chart. This is a horrible daily chart. I mean, how do you find levels in here, right? Again, just doesn't trade clean.
Yeah.
It's very choppy. You had a couple of days where it sold off nicely here, sold up here. But again, just a stock that I don't like trading.
It's a Swiss company, so it can get some crazy moves on the daily that are all over the place.
Yeah, yep, that's right, Baymax. It is a format. When you see this type of daily chart where there's so many gaps in between, 90% of the time it's going to be a foreign company, and that's what this one is. So again, I don't like trading this one, guys, so I'm going to just remove it right now. I'd rather just not watch 6 stocks if I can get 6 good ones. AMD is definitely in play today. Very active. They have some news, some positive news last night and also this morning. Let's look at our Benzinga over here. So I looked it up earlier today. Benzinga, we got a bit of a new. All right. Well, that's not good. Let's bring this back. And where's my gappers? Load. All right, here we go. So so in Benzinga, you can see here it has some news over. You know, they're up on some good news. I believe they have a better rating for target of 33. it looks like they're expecting more sales and all this good stuff happening. So also pulling up MU. With that said, MU is also catching some action on this. So really like the way. Oh, why would you do that? Give me 1 second, guys. Just gotta make sure this thing stay on top. Always on top. Always on top and always on top. This is our hot scanner down here. Okay, there we go. So AMD looks good. Again, we got tons of levels here. I'm gonna remove these levels now. Let's find some clean ones. And what we could do, actually, guys, just one thing too. I find there's a way to, let's say if you have levels all over the place and you want to remove these levels. This is a hotkey, right? At the whatever letter key is next to the one, left of number 1 on the top. That's my hotkey for that. So what I did was I went into the hotkey settings and now I put in shift and that hotkey next left to the 1, and you hit that and it removes all your levels. So instead of trying to click on the line and remove it, that's a faster way of doing that if you're interested in how we're doing that. So AMD, we have some good levels on here. I do like what I'm seeing right now. Again, very strong at the moment. 4.7 gapping up this morning. 2.2 million shares traded so far. So this is definitely in play. Pre-market action is looking really strong. I like the way this one is looking right now. Next we have, let's look at MU while we're at it. So MU up 3.1, also some good volume. 231 is good for MU because, again, this stock, it kind of reminds, it's not a NYSE stock, but it reminds me of the NYSE stocks that they don't get the volume right away. You know, they tend to have a very low pre-market action volume-wise. But MU can definitely put on a show for us at the open. So definitely like the way it trades as well. When it's in play, it can trade very clean. Also, we have MT here. MT is another one like STM, also foreign stock. And again, look at the daily chart. Does not trade well, so I rather stay away from it most days. I don't think I ever traded this stock. No, I'm not sure if you have in the past or at least had any experience with it.
ArcelorMittal, no, I have not. It's foreign and it moves very strangely. I've watched it before, I've just never traded it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna right away just take it off from here. Not gonna bother with that. Next, what do we have? We looked at MU. STNE. Let's see what we got here. This looks good. 1 million shares traded so far, down 3.6. I like the pre-market action at the moment. We got some really decent volume in here. This looks really good. Oh, daily, the daily doesn't look great. Very choppy over the last several days, right? Just kind of hanging around this range here, bouncing off this 42, just kind of hugging 42, which is at the previous day close right now, 42.15. Yeah, so not the best daily chart. I do like the volume at the moment. I like that it's down 3.6, and I also like the pre-market action right here. So it looks decent. So we'll watch this. This could be in play. We'll keep this on here. STNE. All right, what's the flow on STNE? 80 million shares flow. All right, that's decent. And I don't have shorts for it. That sucks. All right, so if you have shorts for this, that's a good one to watch. You can play it both ways. What do we have?
IB only has 30,000, so it'll probably be gone by the start of the open. Yeah.
That'll definitely be gone really quick. QTT, we had it, I believe it was last week, Friday. I don't remember what day or the day before, but I definitely remember doing it. It must have been Thursday because I didn't trade Friday. But anyways, this looks like a good daily chart. It's having it's on a downtrend here. It's losing some levels. It's down 5.8 today. Has some volume. Not the cleanest pre-market action on the 1, but the 5 looks good. This looks good. It has a nice range to it. It has a flow to it. So that's what we like to see. Love the volume here as well. Hopefully we can, this is what I like to call the ramp, right? Ramps up, and hopefully can stay up here with some consistent volume, build a good pre-market action. So yeah, this looks good. We're definitely gonna keep this one here. What else we have in here? All right, I think we cover our entire gappers list. All right, so let's look into NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. And yep, I see some of the ones you guys are throwing out here. NVIDIA, we'll look at that as well. Roku put in a nice day yesterday also. Let's look at this NASDAQ gain. EVGN, not much happening here. No volume, not a great pre-market action. NDRA, nothing going on here. APTX, 1.8 million shares traded so far. That's quite a bit. APTX. 13 million shares flow. Looks pretty dead right now though. So it looked like it had some serious volume here, but now it's not really doing much. Daily chart doesn't look great. It looks like we had it in our watch list before because we have some levels here. Probably when it did this huge gap here. That probably was like an 80% gap down there, heading from 18 to 6. So again, not a very clean daily chart. This is very choppy. Not sure on this one. And the flow is 13. So we'll put it down here next to BPTH. It's got some good volume today. Is up 11.5, and we do got some clear levels we can find on it, but the pre-market action is not looking great. What do we have here next is where we left off. And it moved. APTX moved up. So let's look at OESX. Nothing happening. MGI, not much going on. NDRA, we looked at already. There's nothing happening there. SRRA, not good. Play, no volume. VERI, no volume. SCYX, nothing happening there. IDEX, nothing good coming out of that. AMD, we have. APTX, we have. AVEO. AVO was active yesterday as well. What did it do yesterday? It had a big day yesterday.
Yeah, we had some traders in the room take it yesterday.
Yep, Abby, I'm gonna look at that one next. I think Wesley also told me about GME, so I had that one in mind also. Yeah, I'm gonna take. In fact, let's look at it now. GME. GME down 12.7. Why is GME not in our gappers list? Is it because of ATR? What is?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just below what we have a filter on here. So yeah, GME definitely in play, and we got shares for short as well. How many do I have? Do we have plenty? Yes, we do. We got quite a bit. So when you see this crazy number here, that means that's not the exact number. That just means that you have enough, more than enough to cover.
I thought that was your account equity.
It is, but I don't want to say it to people.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's it's a crazy number there. Was that 10 million, if that? Who knows? A lot of zeros in there. But here is GME, looks good. Again, we're talking about it in the room. We just don't get how these guys are still in business, because everything is just downloadable now, right? I mean, who walks into a GME store? Everything now is online. So they're down today quite a bit, 12.7. Is it earnings, guys, or some other news come out on this?
Yeah, they released earnings last night, which included lower guidance for the year.
Wow. So yeah, 12.7, 633,000 shares traded so far on some bad earnings news. This is good. This definitely be on our watch list today, and the flow is 100 million shares, so that's excellent. Next we have FSNN, the penny stock, nothing good there. STNE we have already. PRPO, penny stock, nothing good going on there with the pre-market action neither. Billy is on here, so Billy's active, 590,000 shares traded so far. Pre-market actions are very choppy right now. Now I have traded Billy before in the past. It's not a great daily chart, but it does trade well if it's in play. So right now it's only up about 1%, pretty flat. I'm gonna skip it for now. I think we have some really good ones in here that we can focus on. QTT we have. QTT is on here, down 5.7. That's good. SQQQ, as you guys know, these are both NASDAQ ETFs. Kind of tells you how the market's doing. If you look at the QQQ now, also up almost a little bit over 0.5%. Here's what the NASDAQ is showing us this morning. All right, guys, we have I coming up here into our Gapper scanners. Let's see what that looks like. Is not looking great. Not a good pre-market action. Not clean. This is very choppy. This is like a 1 out of 10. This is a horrible pre-market action. It's
very difficult to trade.
Yeah, I think we had it before. I don't recall trading, but it looks like we had it in our watch list before. I got some levels in here. But yeah, not one that we want to watch today. All right, so let's see what you guys have on your end. I see Roku, so we'll
Play,
look at Roku
Carlos.
Next. Play.
Yeah, go for Roku, but Play is one. SIG, SIG. SGMO might come back up from yesterday, and then of course Lyft. And luckily with Lyft, we've got a lot more shares for short today.
Yeah, Lyft is one that I actually wanna keep watching because it's very interesting to see how this one's gonna play out today. Up 1.1, 162,000 shares traded, and Lyft will be coming up in our gappers list. It's just I think do they have an ATR yet? I don't think they do. Oh, $7.
Probably
They do
not.
have they do have one now, $7. They don't have a float neither. So I'm sorry, they do have a float now, 14. Okay, so they got some information.
Carlos, I didn't mention it because it's on my list for every day, but NVIDIA looks kind of interesting today too. We'll see what happens with it.
Sweet, we'll look at that. And then Peter B has a question here. Carlos, is the level 2 data important in pre-market? Like now, GME has the big bids at 10:01. So let's look at GME. Here we go.
It looks like a no intent. I didn't see the big bid at 10:01, but it's no intent to fill on that. It's $1.50 away almost.
Yeah, anything that far out, that's no intent to fill. So we don't really consider it. And even here, like in the pre-market, you got to be careful with this thing. This thing could change a lot. It's again, I wait for the open to see the actual action on the bid and ask. I think that's more realistic because also sometimes the spread could be so spread out. You can have a 30 cents, not a stock that's $8, but you could have 30, 15, 20 cents. And then when the market opens, you get more that liquidity and it tightens up. So I usually don't really focus too much on the level 2 unless I see something really funky. I'm really looking at the open what the level 2 is giving us on the bid and ask. But if you're trading a low flow, it's a little bit different. Low floats, they tend to be a lot more active, and then this information could be useful. All right, so let's look at the ones we left off here. So we have Play. Play is up 7.3. This is good. Doesn't have a great pre-market action right now. It looks pretty choppy, but it's up quite a bit. Has a good daily chart. Not much volume right now.
Yeah, it needs more volume.
Yeah, it definitely needs more volume, but it does look interesting on the daily chart so far. It has a good daily chart, though. I like this ranges here. Looks like it's really strong. Has some serious volume yesterday, though. Look at this. Sold off. Traded 3.1 million shares yesterday. So that's a lot for this stock when the average is less, right?
I think, yeah. Well, I think most of that was after the market closed or right at the close when they reported earnings.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. So this looks good. Let's look at Roku. What is Roku giving us? Roku is... So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put Play and Roku down here because they don't have the volume right now, but they could be really good mid-morning plays. Or if you have your watch list set for stuff that has volume now, these could be some that if you see on your watch list something is not moving great, like we had yesterday, then you can replace it for one of these two if they're moving better. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Roku and Play down here and take them off from here for now because they definitely need more volume. SGMO, also one that needs more volume, but it does have, it is down, it is up 2.4. How's the pre-market action right now? Pretty flat pre-market action, not much going on at the moment. So we'll put SGMO down here for a possible play later on today. SIG is on here, down 1.7, has some volume. This looks good, has some decent volume, 242,000 shares traded, 44 actually. It's been consolidating over the last several days. It's kind of stuck in this range here between the previous day close and this 26.32. But the pre-market action does look interesting. So yeah, let's keep that one on here. Lyft at the moment, not much volume, but it is up 1%. Again, recent IPO, it's just been kind of selling off. Had a green day yesterday. It's trying to bounce back here a bit. But this is one that you really have to really play the price action. I think these levels, again, as we mentioned, are not really too important right now because they're not again, it's just too recent to follow these moving averages and things like that. So Lyft will keep on here. I'm actually going to throw it down here as well because I'm interested in watching Lyft over the next couple of days, see if it goes into a nice run. NVIDIA has some volume today, up 1.3. Yeah, NVIDIA is good. I like NVIDIA here. Let's see what else. What else you guys have on your end? So NVIDIA we looked at. OE. Sorry guys, let me take care of this phone here. So we have OLEO. Let's look at that. Just check that ticker. It's not coming up for me. Next one you have ZUO. ZUO we played before, but today they have no volume. Play we do have, Jason. Yeah, Play is definitely one we have down here. Needs better volume right now, but I do like the daily chart. So after we go through these in detail and fine tooth comb, find some levels, I might bring Play back up here. because it does look interesting. Has a really good daily chart. It just needs a little more volume. Next we have PCG. PCG, what is it? What is that company up to?
Starting fires.
Yeah, right. So PCG, not much volume right now. It is up 3.9, but again, this is a stock that's very, very difficult to trade. I don't have shares for sure. I'm not sure if does IB have any, Norm, on PCG.
For which one? PCG.
PCG.
Let me look. It does. Yeah, it has a good amount actually.
Oh, nice. So yeah, this if you could short this one, you might add it to your list. I have plenty on here that I can short and go long on. So I'm not gonna watch PCG, and also the volume is not there, guys. The volume is not quite where it needs to be. And also just keep in mind this stock is very difficult to trade. So just be careful with it. You know, you need volume, you need momentum. Now, it does not mean that even though the volume is at 24, that it cannot pick up and give you an amazing trading day. So let's go through this list, guys. We have quite a bit. SQ is one of those stocks that I am horrible at trading. Brian is amazing at trading SQ.
It's hard to trade.
It is very hard to trade. You really have to know how to trade it. Today is not really in action, but this is normal for SQ. It starts like this with not that much going on, flat pre-market action. At the open, you're going to get the volume. But again, it's just a very difficult stock to trade. I stay away from it. I really do. So I'm not going to watch SQ today. And right now, the pre-market action is not giving us a reason to really watch this. We got so many good ones down here today. It's a day where we will definitely want to be picky on what we watch. All right, guys, so just want to go over a few announcements before we go through our levels. So first off, just want to make sure you guys are aware that there's a meetup on April 7th. Brian and Andrew are going to be there in Toronto. So I'm going to post the link now on YouTube. Again, you do not have to be a member of the community to attend. So definitely, if you're interested, check this out. And you can meet Andrew and Brian and some of the members of the community. So I'm sure they look forward to seeing a few people there. Also, the next announcement we have is the challenge. So the challenge has we're getting good feedback, Norm, so far. I mean, we have quite a bit of members signed up already. So that's good.
Yep.
I just send
3 of them are you.
Yeah, but don't tell that to nobody. I got my daughter's name, my wife's name, and my nephew's name on there. I want that portable laptop system. So again, very nice gift. And also, again, and the thing is all about being able to, see if day trading is for you, give it a try. Also, the platform. I mean, this platform is, I think, is really underrated. People don't understand, people like to see the Thinkorswim type platforms where you got all the bells and whistles. But this platform is amazing for day trading. Again, we're not affiliated with it at all. We're not affiliates of Dash Trader Pro. If we find something that's better for us and our members, trust me, Andrew will switch so fast, it's not even funny. But right now, this is a really good platform. Definitely check it out. It's a good way to do it and also put some fun into it. So definitely check out. So let's Kurt says I'm on the board of DAS. No, I'm not. I actually we met the CEO, very nice person, very down to earth. In the Trader Expo, she was there as well. So we met her, and again, just a really good company. But again, we're not affiliated with anybody. It's just the way it is. All right, guys, let's make this list a little smaller. Way too many here today. Norm, any other announcements that we might have missed or?
I mean, if anybody's listening, we've been contacted by some of the top 3 winners, but if you're in that, you see the sheet, reach out to us about getting your prize.
Excellent.
From the first challenge.
Yep. So all right, so let's look at this. So let's go through this list, guys. Let's make this a little smaller. Andrew's doing well. Andrew will be with us today. He will log in usually about in 10 more minutes, 9:15. Andrew will be starting to go through his watch list, and then he'll be trading live. So ADMA, I think I'm going to get rid of this one. Pre-market action looks good. It's selling off, though. It's not really giving us me personally, I'm not seeing anything where this thing is looking strong right now. It's only up 1.8. The volume is not great, and also I don't have shares for short, so I'm going to get rid of ADMA on here. AMD I do like, very strong this morning, amazing volume, 2.5. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this one today. High of the pre-market is sitting at what is this, 28.15, which is 28.15. Here we go, which is very close to the high of the day on this day here. So very close, actually kind of right on the money. Above this, what do we have for AMD? Let's go back. All right, so we have some levels in here. We can find again look at 28.15, very close to this spike over here. We clearly have some levels all the way up here at 32.88. AMD doesn't move that much unless there's some crazy news on it, so we got to find levels a little lower, closer to the price action. I like this one here around 30.08. You have several days consolidating here. We got several days using it as support, and then you also have this one here using it as resistance. So I like that area there. And then since I know AMD doesn't move much, I'm gonna want something in between here, and I like this one here at a 29.17. You have a day that's bouncing from that, and then you have one that's selling down from there as well. So I like that area there. All right, towards the bottom, let's see what we got towards the bottom on AMD. We have this day over here. We can mark the high of this day as well, possible area where you can find some support. And then below that, you really just have the low of the pre-market hanging around 27.22. And then below that, plenty of levels. Again, previous day close, previous day highs, all in this area here. Again, AMD doesn't move much like that, but today is definitely in play with some positive news and a beautiful pre-market action. As you can see here, has a nice flow to it above the moving averages, and just the volume is amazing. MU is following suit. MU tends to do good when AMD is doing good as well. They're in the same sector. So we have a level all the way up here at 44.23. Towards the top, let's see what we got in this area here. Above that level, we also help that the market is up too. It's definitely because MU and AMD tend to follow whatever the market does. We have 46.48. And then above that, we have this one here at 48.53. So, and high of the pre-market, we can mark that also, which is kind of the price action is hanging out there right now. High of the pre-market sitting at 43.80. Low of the pre-market is also interesting. We have a moving average coming in there, 43.08. Low of the pre-market, then below that, you got plenty highs and lows and previous day close on there. So, AMU having a big bounce over the last couple of days, had a huge sell-off, and then caught this 200-day moving average here, bouncing up nicely today, and the markets are definitely helping with that as we speak. So STNE, let's go here. STNE is down 3.7. Again, very choppy daily chart. I don't like this kind of stuck in a range here. I don't have shares for sure, unfortunately, but I am going to put some levels in case you do here. So towards the bottom, we can mark down the low of the pre-market is kind of holding it right now, sitting at 40.58. So let's mark that down. Did it go? Here we go. There we go. So it's kind of holding this level, it's testing it one more time. Was not able to break it here during this 15-20 minute span. Now it's back at it again. Let's see what it does here. So you have that level towards the bottom. You have another level right over here. You got several days testing this 39.81. You have 1, 2, 3 days testing that level, and then below that you can also mark down this one 39.15. You have this day here as well, because again this thing can move, so you want to have some levels that you could possibly use as profit target areas if you're shorting this. And you also have this low from 2 days ago right in here, also with a moving average coming in, so that gives you a little more support in this 38 price range. Again, I'm going to remove it from my end. I don't like the daily chart as much. I also don't have shares for short, so I want to be able to find things that I can play both ways. So let's get rid of this one. QTT, let's see what QTT is up to. Daily chart looks okay. Pre-market action, 580,000 shares traded. I do not have shares for short, unfortunately, but I think we can watch this one just in case. It's got a lot of volume. Low of the pre-market right now, 10.10. Below that, we'll have to go back in here. So below that, we have a candle right over here at 9.59. You have this day using it as a resistance here as well, and then resistance, and then once you crack it, becomes support in this area, 9.59. So that's a good support to have there. Next, GME. GME is definitely one that is worth watching today. Pre-market action is a little choppy right now, but it has great volume. Again, they have some bad earnings, so they're down 12.8, which is a lot for a stock that's trading, this low. So that's quite a bit. So you have A69 low of the pre-market, and you also have high of the pre-market at 920.24. Let's check when was the last time that we were hanging out in these areas. This all-time low. Let's check. It might be.
I believe it is, but
it's definitely 52. It's definitely 52. I think the last time they were down
15-year low.
Yeah, I think the last time they were here is not even. It is all-time low. They opened up a lot higher than this, so a couple of bucks. So it is all-time low for GME. So that also makes it interesting. So A69 is the all-time low for here. So you have 924 towards the top. The next level above this, again, doesn't. I mean, we're going back to 2005, but what the heck? Let's just go. Actually, previous day close. That's the next level you have. There's nothing in here in between the price action now and 10. So very excited about this one. I think this one's going to be in play for sure. The A69, let's see what it does there. Then SIG is good. I like the pre-market action here, bouncing off this previous 2 days ago low right in here. Let's see what we have as to daily levels. We have a 28.37 coming up here, which is also very close to the yesterday high. Above this, we have a level in here, 29.34. That's a good one as well. And let's see what we can. Then we have a gap. We have a nice gap all the way up here. I don't think we'll get there. High of the pre-market sitting at 30.73. And if you want something between the high of the pre-market and the price and the next level, which is 29.34, you can mark down 30.09. That's a level possible for a move up. So SIG looks good, kind of putting a double bottom of yesterday's highs and lows over here, 27. So looking like it wants to bounce a bit, going above the previous day close. At the moment, up 2%, 280,000 shares traded, and we do have shares for short. So again, not the cleanest pre-market action, but it can get going if it has some volume to it. NVIDIA, let's see what NVIDIA is doing here. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. NVIDIA is good. Have a couple of strong days. Funny, it's all red candles, but it's making higher lows. So it's definitely moving nicely here. High of the pre-market 185.80. Above this, we have over here. Well, that's the gap we're closing, right? Actually, 180.89.42 will be the gap, right? So if you can get above the high of the pre-market, the next one will be that gap, 189.42, which we know NVIDIA, if it can get going, and you trade this a lot, Norm, so you know how this stock moves, it can hit that with no problem. And then towards
it can move 10 bucks.
Oh yeah, easily. So towards the bottom, you don't need to add any more. You have plenty on here. You have the previous day close, previous day highs and lows, just all listed in this area. Again, we're breaking out from this location here. The last time we tested is 185.16, where the price is at now, was in this area. All right, guys, so this is what I have so far. Let's look at APTX. APTX, we do have shares for short. What is the float on this one? It is 13 million, so there's a lower flow, but again, it's just pretty flat right now. It's not really doing much, nothing exciting. BPTH, I'm not going to watch. I'm just going to remove that one. And then these down here, Play, Roku, SGMO, and Lyft.
Take a look at Lyft. Lyft just started popping a second ago.
Yeah, just tuned in.
I was watching it too, William. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna definitely. Lyft just got upgraded. We're gonna put Lyft here in our main list. So we'll do that. APTX. I'm on the fence on APTX. I might drop that one after before the open, but Lyft looks exciting. Looks good here. Looks like it's trying to bounce here after having a couple of red days. Although yesterday was green, not by much. And as to levels, we really only have the highs and lows of 2 days ago. It's not much levels on here. You got some moving averages coming in, but really on this one, you got to really just play the price action. Let's mark down the high of the day now because it had this nice big push. We might get a pullback now, but 70.60 high of the pre-market. Let's mark that down and see what we do here. And also, you can also, just for the heck of it, you can also mark down 69.70. You have it where it was doing resistance here a couple of times in the pre-market. Once it broke out, used it as support, and now you had this beautiful bounce here. So we'll keep that one down. And then I think Lyft, NVIDIA, SIG, GME, QTT. I have to, man. I just want to get rid of one. I think QTT might be it. So I'm going to get rid of QTT. It just looks, the price, it has the volume, 598,000 shares, but the price action, it just seems choppy to me. I don't know what you think about QTT, Norm. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, it's a little choppy. I watched it the other day, and then it's just really not my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I'm not liking it either. Although, again, it has the volume, just not a clean pre-market action. It has a flow to it here, but I don't know. Something about it just seems choppy. I think we have better stocks to watch today, so I'm going to drop that one off. So we'll keep AMD, MU, GME is great, all-time low here at 869. SIG also is trying to bounce here above the previous day close. We got some really nice levels towards the top. Just needs to get a cleaner pre-market action, cleaner volume. Sorry, it needs to get more volume in here. It's not really doing much at the moment. Nvidia possible play, although this is a little higher price stock. I tend to like to trade stuff under 100, but this one looks interesting today on the daily. And then Lyft as well, bouncing back from this 70.60. And let's see if it can crack that high of the pre-market. So that is what we have, guys. Last one here, CAT. CAT is starting to look a little exciting here, trying to go above the previous day close at the moment. Needs to get more volume, but it is starting to move here. So interesting daily chart as well. Yeah, CAT, I'm gonna put down. I'm not gonna watch CAT. I'm gonna put it down here as a possible to check out later on in the mid morning. If any of these don't look too good, I can possibly put into that. SIG. Yeah, SIG. I mean, SIG. It is in an area where it can move, but I'm not sure on it, to be honest. This is one that I might drop on if it doesn't get the volume before 9:30. It does have 87,000 shares traded. It is trying to bounce here, but again, you're right. It doesn't look great on SIG, so I might drop this one off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. Play is up. There's no volume. Play actually looks a little better. Just got to get the volume. Roku has no volume. SGMO, no volume still. And CAT is trying to build the volume now. Yeah, so SIG is one. Again, I have 6 already, but SIG is one that I might drop off depending how the market continues. Let's see if we have anything else on our gap. Let's OPTT here. OPTT 228,000 shares traded, is gapping up 47%, and the float on this is 416,000 shares. So again, riskier trade here, riskier stock. I am not going to watch this one, but it is in play. If you trade low flows, this is one that's definitely in play right now, up 48%, moving up nicely. APTX continues to sell off here. Did we find levels for APTX? I don't think we did. Let's get some levels in here. So yeah, APTX low, the pre-market 433. You have a spike over here at 455, and then you also have another one here where the gap started at 477. Close of the gap in the area of 509. Pre-market high 554. Then it looks like we have some levels from before 590. And all the way up here when it had this big drop down here, but going back in January. So this looks interesting. We do have shares for sure. I have plenty for sure on this one actually. So this one does look interesting right now. Losing it a little bit. Lyft trying to see if it can hold here. Nvidia bouncing back. SIG, yeah, SIG is I like SIG. Again, not the cleanest pre-market action, but something about it looks good. So I'm just definitely gonna watch it. GME is great, MU and AMD. All right, guys, that's our watch list. That's what we have so far. Norm, anything else that you have on your end that we did not go over?
The only thing different I have, I think, is Facebook. I think you looked over it, but I'm not sure. And then Nvidia, but that's it. So, and you have Nvidia, so
yeah, Facebook. Again, just very nice trading yesterday. Really strong day, and it's just kind of closing above this level that it had here. This is the resistance from the last couple of weeks. So that's it's in a good area to possibly do something.
It had a golden cross on the daily yesterday from that pop. So the 50 crossed over the 200 on the daily. So
yep, right here. Yeah, no, it's definitely looking pretty strong for today. All right, guys, thank you for joining us on YouTube. This is our watch list for today. We're gonna get ready to to kind of see what develops after that, and then we'll make adjustments as we go. So once again, thanks for joining us. Definitely check out, as we mentioned before, the Bear Bush Traders Challenge. I sent the link over on the messages, and also the Toronto meetup on April 7th. Brian and Andrew will both be there, and we'll love to hang out with you guys. So again, and just a reminder, you do not have to be a member of the community to join us for the meetup. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Trade safe, and we will see you tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, trade safe, guys. And if you get a chance, go to the Bear Bull Traders Facebook page. Give us an honest review. We'd really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Take care.